So I will be back eventually to Comerica Park. An individual who may not be back in Comerica Park is Hall of Fame pitcher and maybe former Tigers broadcaster Jack Morris, who
Suspended.
yeah, stuck his foot in his mouth, made a terribly immature, racist little joke. I wouldn't even call it a joke. It was just a terrible attempt at humor this week when during the Shohei Ohtani game where I won't even bother saying what he said. You can find out what he said, but he just he mocked a stereotypical broken English Asian accent, which is something you would do as a junior hire. Jack Morris is a Hall of Fame pitcher, fantastic Tigers legend. He's a mediocre broadcaster at best. He's okay, and I think he's been getting better, but it's been a complaint by Tigers fans ever since Mario and Rod were summarily relieved of their duties a couple of years ago. They've been trying to fill the role with former Tigers in the broadcast booth, and Morris has been okay, but I think he struggles. He doesn't have much personality, so I think his weak and ill-fated attempt at humor was just an attempt to kind of be folksy and get some, try to be entertaining, but it was just a horrible idea. I don't think it's a fireable offense. I think it was a mistake. I don't think he's a racist individual. I think he just literally needs some education on what's funny and what's not, what's offensive and what's not. And that's apparently what he's going to be doing in order to return to the booth. He's been indefinitely suspended. He has to attend some, I don't know if it's sensitivity training.
Yes, I read that. It's sensitivity.
Who runs though? Like I always wonder about it, that industry that runs sensitivity training or bias training or whatever. Like how do you get into that industry? Like,
I know. Yeah.
Is that a whole thing? Seems... Like you outsource that to somebody? Like,
yeah, I think it's probably like someone who is like a counselor type of thing, right? Yeah, like that type of situation. It would be great. I hope his counselor's Asian.
Yeah. Well, you just think obviously he knows he made a mistake.
Listen,
can you imagine sitting in one of those sessions like, I fucked up. I know this was a terrible joke, and now he has to sit there. It just is embarrassed. I think you'd just be embarrassed.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It is more embarrassing than anything. I mean, Ohtani was. I read this morning. They asked Ohtani about it. He was like, I don't think it's a big deal.
He didn't, and I think he's smart. Not smart, but I think he just wanted to go away. You know,
right.
He doesn't want to make a big deal of it.
He answered it correctly. I mean, to make it go away. But I also
he answers the way he felt. He could have been upset, and that'd have been fine too. But I think he literally just didn't want to make it. I think his whole brand and persona he's just fun. You know, there's no reason he doesn't need to be around controversy or make a statement. He just wants to mash the ball and throw it down people's throats.
I think about this, and I think about the Bob Brenly thing, and I think both comments, and I'm not excusing the comments by any stretch, but I mean, again, I didn't know about do-rag until I looked it up, and it is a stereotypical term, because I didn't think anything of it, like when he said it initially. But Marcus Stroman was super offended. He came on and was super offended by the comments. So, but I don't think either guy in those individual cases. Bob has a lot of other issues that came to the surface. But for Jack Morris, I mean, I just hope I hope he doesn't get fired over this, because I don't think he deserves to get fired, because he isn't.
You came out strong on Twitter, though. You were bashing the Tigers organization, calling them classless. I think that might have been.
It was a little tongue in cheek there.
Well, that was before they suspended him, so maybe that's what
I was just. No, I wasn't really as upset. I was just busting balls. So.
Yeah,